Okay, if I sound out of breath, I am out of breath. This is Jim Howard, Fort Worth, Texas. It's January 3rd. I've got several deliveries have come today. They're all coming different. It's a Sunday, by the way. The packages are all coming. One was dropped off by Amazon. One went to the post office. Yes, they deliver on Sundays. They have a deal with the post office, and the post office came into the gated community, of course, and they were able to put it in there's some big boxes down there, and they were able to put it in there. I just walked over with my son. He walked with me, and the manila envelope. Hello. This is such a cute cat. Problem is, he wraps himself around my feet, and makes me. I have to be careful not to fall, and it's very difficult. I don't want to fall on the cat, but I also don't want to fall. If I fall, I would have difficulty even getting back up. Anyway, the post office put the manila envelope, a big one, into the big box there, and which I don't normally do, but I was talking to my son, and I opened up the envelope to see what was in, and it was a ham radio guide that's studying to get your general class license. I have a technician's class license, and I want to get my general class license. And I gotta walk down this way. So I want to study to get my general class license. Then I can use, I'm not sure if this wind, not sure if you can hear me over the wind. So I want to get my general class license anyway. So anyway, I ripped open the manila envelope, took out the guide, and threw the manila envelope in the trash container there where the mailboxes are. And then I got home and realized that in that delivery was supposed to be the guide and some styluses that I ordered for my Apple iPad that is supposed to come, iPad mini that is supposed to come today in a different shipment. And so I'm thinking that those styluses were in the back, very small, and were in the bottom of that manila envelope. So I'm heading back here to if my arthritis wasn't so bad, I've got this app on the phone here that identifies flowers and trees and different kinds of stuff. What is it called? Google something. And but when I walked down here just a few minutes ago, I had to stop on the way back several times. I just couldn't make it without stopping and breathing for a while. So I'm pretty sure those styluses are going to be in the bottom of this package. Okay, one-handed, I'm not very good at this. There it is. Okay. There are the I'm not sure which way you read. I guess read it that way. Okay. These are the big boxes that I told you about that they have, so that you can put mail into, or the post office can. Then they leave the key in your mailbox, which only you have a key to, and then I think I'll go back the same way. Although it's slightly up an incline. I like this Moto G Stylus, but with sunlight on the screen, I have no idea. I can barely make it out. But there's some flowers. They're kind of wilted because it's been cold. I wonder, it says high sensitive. I think these styluses weren't, I can't remember, they weren't very expensive. I forget how much. I think that they said that this does palm rejection, which will be, I think something will be useful. Some of the styluses that you use on devices, if you're trying to draw or even maybe write, if your palm touches the screen, it causes a problem. Some styluses, when you're using them, the palm thing is rejected and your palm won't do it. But anyway, I ordered these for the iPad Mini. It says made in China. I'll probably do a little review on the styluses because I'm sure people probably wondering and looking for. I hope I don't decide to turn around and spend $100 on the Apple. Well, I don't think I will, because of one reason. If it's the first generation stylus, and that's the one that you have to plug it into your lightning adapter on your iPad. 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 steps here. Did I mention in my videos, don't get old? Actually, I think what I said is do what you can. I worked my entire life, many times 2 jobs. Worked as a welder, boiler maker. I built railroad cars. I built trucks at the type that haul soda pop and from the Hess Carriage Company and beer and that type of stuff. And then I worked where we made trucks that are fucking bigger than your house. I worked at just a body shop. The trucks had to be disassembled so they could be shipped out on railroad cars. They wouldn't fit on highways. But, then my wife and I, we had a tropical fish shop for 4 years. We were were open at least 6 days a week. I think we were open 7 days a week for a while. And more to it than you think. You know, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, I'd be outside cleaning fish tanks and putting gravel in them and doing all kinds of stuff. Worked 30 years as a hospital security officer. I thought of, you know, walking, patrolling, all kinds of stuff. Just, if you're a young person, you know, save X amount of money, whatever it's recommended, you know, 10% or whatever, save it no matter what. Yeah, but don't save money on, you know, maybe exercise or, you know, do it on your own or pay for a gym membership. Well, I don't know about gym memberships, but do take care of yourself. You don't want to end up like me. I'll be 80 in March, at least. Now when I see these people dying, you know, and they'll be 60 or 70, you know, I go, oh, the person died at such a young, that person was such a young age. When I was young, if somebody died and they were 50 or whatever, I'd say, well, they had a long time, they had a long life, you know. Okay. Thank you very much for watching. Hello, Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. Oh, I forgot this is part 2. Yeah. So you just watched me walking around out in the parking lot, and I mentioned a few things. I'm going to show you, I guess, a few of those things now. Anyway, let me say that it is still January 3rd of 2021. I bet you I bet I said 2020. Gonna have to watch that. Anyway, it's 9:03 p.m. here in Fort Worth, Texas, the Central Time Zone here in the United States. Let's see. First of all, here is the styluses that I ordered. Let's see, where are they? Here they are. And well, anyway, the box comes off. There's some kind of a card here or something that, and then there's some instructions and a little cleaning cloth. And then here is, there's 2 of them, one gold and one black, with some extra styluses. I will take out the gold one. Now, I ordered this in for my iPad mini that is coming, I hope. It was supposed to come today, and it didn't come today, so I'm guessing it's going to come tomorrow. This is my Moto G Stylus cell phone, and this stylus, let's see, will open. It's a little too much light there. Here we go. Now if I can see what I'm pushing here, I don't even know what it is. You see that the stylus, I'll push the photos here. Wait a minute. Why is it doing that? Let me try it here where I can see it. Let me switch over to another page here. Let me switch over to the weather. Here's radar. Let's see, what do I have? Let me kill this light. That doesn't help. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. It says widgets and apps. Let me see what it says next here. Okay, that did open. So, let's see. This is... hang on, I think this white screen here. Let me maximize this, see if that helps out. Oh, God. Okay, let me... Still too bright. Okay. I'm not good at doing this. Okay, so... maybe the stylus on the other end. Well, anyway, this was not ordered in for this. I just wanted. Now these styluses do not operate. Don't need battery. Okay, this other end here works. Okay, there's no, no bad, that's weather by the weather radar. So this works on this Moto Stylus. I don't even remember. Here's an old stylus that I've had a long time. I don't even remember what I got it for. And this end unscrews here, and you can charge it up. I'm going to have to, since I just found this, I'm going to have to find that cable, USB cable. So this charges up. Okay, so here's the other end. Let me see if this works. I don't have the power turned on to it, by the way. See the switch? Let me turn this on. Well, you can't see it, but it lit up. Okay, let me turn it off. Okay. Okay, using this end, this doesn't work on this. Let me turn the power on. Okay, power is now on. And this loads up. Let's see, introducing rain notifications. Okay, yes, I want that. Okay, so with the power on, this will do, this will work with this. So, when I get, hopefully tomorrow, when I get my Apple Mini, I'll test out these and see if they work. See if this old one works. I think it will. And we'll see if these work. So let me put this stuff back in here. I'll put the link below to all this stuff. By the way, please, if you can, use my, let's see. This is that their name this way? They have high sensitivity stylus. Or I have no idea. This must be it. Okay, what else? I mentioned that I purchased this amateur radio guide. Everybody now is into computers and the internet and World Wide Web and all that type of stuff, but you might look into getting yourself a ham radio license, amateur radio operator's license. In the United States, you want to get the technician for your first license. Get your technician. It's easier, a little bit easier. Get that, and now you don't have to purchase one of the guide here. It it just tells you about stuff, and then having to do with what you need to know to be an amateur radio operator, and then the back is sample questions. And these are the exact questions that maybe you're only going to have a certain number of questions that you'll be asked on the test. But all the questions are here. And they give you a few false answers, but they tell you which one's the correct answer. So you could study it that way. You could just go and do it. But now online, I'll put some. I might not get around to it right away. I'll put. Let me just. Big picture is too much. Of me. So here is. Let me go back here. I should have. Here is the styluses, and the price, $15. Okay. I may get some Coke here. I was actually wondering about that. I was wondering if this pulled off, this plastic thing. But no, that's the way it says. They say here it looks strange, but that's the way it works. So I'll find out if this works. Well, I'm sure it will because it shows it working. Okay, with the iPad, Apple iPad, so it shows it working. I should come over here and read this. More information here, or I think it's the same information that's on that piece of paper, but so okay. Here is the iPad that I ordered, the Apple iPad Mini, 64 gigabytes of memory. I would have liked to have gone with 256, but it's about $100, I think. Well, let's click and see. As you can see, I paid $400, and it would have been $544 with the 256. I wonder how much for Wi-Fi. I mean, for cellular. Let's see, for the $400 price, $519. I don't think I'd like making, cell phone calls with, but it'd be nice to, well, okay. This has the A12 bionic chip if I get it tomorrow. It's a 7.9 inch display. Cameras are not apparently that, that great. They're okay, but we'll find out, won't we? At least. Okay, what else? Okay, here is the ARRL, American Radio Relay League General Class License Manual. Spiral brown, kind of expensive, $32.95. But now there's several different, there's companies that sell them. Like, here's one that's $17. I got the ARRL one. No, I did not get. Here's the ARRL one. Let's see. But so you can see there's different prices. But like I said, go with the technician's class first. Now, in your country, if you're outside of the United States, the amateur radio licenses are available in a lot of countries around the world. Japan is big, with a lot of amateur radio operators. In fact, I think they're number 2. I think the United States is number 1, and I think Japan is number 2. But the licensing, the testing, or however it works in different countries, is going to be be different. So if you're in Japan or some other country, don't buy the one of these. These are for the United States. The questions for the United States and the rules that you're tested on too. So I'll try to get around to putting the link too for where you can do this online. Take the test online. There's a site that I have. You can go to this one. There's numerous sites, and YouTube videos also. Even some YouTube classes, But this one site that I've gone to, it's free, for your general class or your technician's class or your advanced class. That's 3 licenses that you could move up, if you wanted to. But their site, it gives you the questions, and it changes them next time, and that type of stuff. And trying to think what. I'll put the link, but anyway, but if you pay a small amount, it does something extra for you. I think maybe it keeps, I can't remember now what it is. I paid for the general class, and a year, or I'm not sure how long went by. I paid for a year or something. Several years went by. I didn't study. And finally the thing kicked, out. And I went back and I repaid again. I didn't go back and do the test, taking the test. And I think the thing has expired again. So I'll go back and pay the small amount of money. And this time I hope to apply myself and get the general class license. Okay, I got this book today. I made a couple videos. I have this, which I really did not know about. Are you able to, when people say, I see that, I called up an image of that. Oh yeah, or whatever. I never thought that was real until I got married at age 26, and at some point later on in life, my wife and I were talking about something, and she said something about, well, I forget what it was. I'll make something up. Well, I don't have to. I wouldn't have to walk across the street to see Elvis Presley because I can just call up what he looks like, you know. And I said, what? And then I asked her some questions. And you can call up, you can see images of things, create images of stuff, call things up. Yeah. What? I can't. I cannot. And so at some point I realized that I wasn't just some alien that had landed here. Same with this guy, the guy who wrote this book, Alan Kendall. Same situation happened to him. You know, he grew up. He heard people saying about, you know, well, I may think, oh yeah, I can see that now. And he was like me. He didn't realize for a long time that he was actually, in his forward here, he said, the forward to his book, I just started on it. All I read is the forward. He says something that's kind of interesting in here. Yeah. His parents have passed away, and he says, I'm writing this book to share with you what I've learned and to try to help others like me to understand this condition better. I will take a look back into my past, review how I may have been affected as I have grown up. I wish my mom and dad were still alive, and I could explain all this to them. It would make so much sense to them as they saw me grow up struggling and getting stressed at school, learning and education generally. The words in this book would provide answers, thoughts, and probably lots of questions. They would explain things I never understood at the time, when I could not understand schoolwork and learn in the way other people could, as I struggled with reading, spelling, and expressions in the written and spoken word. All right, anyway, so that's, so I've just read the forward, and I'm going to read the book because I have it. Now there's degree, that wasn't good. Hope we haven't been disconnected. Oh, I hope this didn't lean on something, my computer down here. There's a degrees of it, and I happen to be at the degree where I see nothing. I cannot close my eyes, and if I close my eyes, I can't see anything. I can't pull up what this room looks like. I can't pull up, there's nothing. Now, some people have it, you know, at the other end of just very minor. And so it's, and it looks like, I believe, about 2% of the people have some degree of this affliction, which it's been known about. Somebody wrote about it, I think in the 1880s? But until just recently, the last, I don't know how many, I'll find out when I read this book, last 20 years or something, that it's finally being noticed by people and talked about and realized. I mentioned this before. I think I made 2 videos before about this problem. And I mentioned, I think, in them that they should be testing in school. I mean, it would be it would not be, it would be an hour, 2 hours, maybe 2 or 3 hours, maybe make it into depending on the, but start early with the kids. Say, we're going to play, I don't know how you would do it. I'm not a teacher, I should be a teacher. I went to summer school for 5 years in a row. But they should, no, you don't want to mark some kid as being strange or something, but They should do some type of, maybe testing's not the right word, screening, to find out. You know, then you would, well, also, I think this guy talks about, because he mentions in the forward or whatever, that there are people who have this problem, and by pulling from resources and other things, they go on to accomplish great things. So I don't want to say that you would, you know, but see, I can't pull up nothing. You want to know what my, I can't, there's nothing. Zero. I have a feeling that of course, I'm not a pilot, but I did go take a flying. I wanted to. I bought when I was in. I took one sample flying lesson for an hour. I actually flew the airplane. I didn't land or take off, you know, but. There, if you could do some kind of screening, maybe I should be, since I'm talking about this subject here, let's see. If you could do some kind of screening on kids, it might help them out. The idea should not be to restrict them, saying, you know, you cannot be an astronaut, you can't be a pilot. Now, of course, remember, there's a scale of maybe somebody who's, you know, has the affliction and they're just at instead of being at 0 where I am, maybe if they're at 40, maybe that's fine. Maybe they can be a pilot, an astronaut, a brain surgeon, I don't know what. But I think there'd be some kind of screening at some point. I think it could be early. It can be done early. The only problem is if you did it, say you're doing it, well, no matter when you did it, say you're doing it at, I'll put a link for this so you can purchase it if you have, you know, I don't think everybody should go out and buy this, but I think people who, you know, have it or some degree of it. There's other things in there, like some people who have it, and I happen to be one of those, have a problem with facial recognition. And there's other things. Just choking on cheese. That's the way to go, isn't it? Anyway, I think there should be testing done, but yeah, the problem that I was going to get at, you know, if you screen kids in order to help them, direct them to go. I mean, I passed. I didn't go into not Greenpeace. What was John F. Kennedy's thing where youth would go out, not just youth, anybody would, you know, from the United States would go out to help other countries. As soon as he announced it, I wrote, I was one of the first people to be tested. I've mentioned that well, they didn't tell me what the score was, but I knew as I went through the test, I got 100%. I knew all of that. I'm sure they changed the test because, anyway, I'd been in civil defense. I'd been purchasing books from the government printing office and reading all that type of, you know, stuff. And you know, the test was designed by somebody, and it was like I designed my own test. It was like, what questions would I want if I was taking a test, and it would be. So anyway, but now on that test there were no blocks, figures, things, and then and they're twisted, and like which one of these is like these others, or how many squares are in this one that's turned, this type of stuff. Those questions on some of the, like Peace Corps. That was it. I passed the Peace Corps exam, but I didn't go in. I passed the post office exam. I actually hired in and worked for a few months. Told them to take the job and shove it. Not a smart thing to do. I should have just stayed. I would have stayed in, I think. I didn't. I didn't like their attitude. I didn't. But, and that wasn't mail handler test. It was the clerks. But they had a way of doing things in the post office, which I found out once when I hired in, If I had known that I could, for sure, at some point pretty quick, gone to be a mail carrier, I'd probably still be carrying mail door to door. I would have loved that. Even in the wintertime, snow and ice, I'd have been a great, I wouldn't have been like Steinfeld's mailman. So I passed that test. Well, at least, I didn't, ace it. In fact, out of the group that they hired 200, I was number 200 on the list. But there were people, anybody who was a veteran had extra 10 points on the thing. If you were in a combat, I forget what everybody got, but they hired in after that 200 more 2 weeks later, and then they hired in 200 more, later. So I would have already been, have a little bit of seniority. But anyway, I told the post office to take it and shove it. I took the Federal Protective Officer test and passed that. Now it did have, the post office didn't have, it had sort of a test that was designed for it. And I don't believe, if I remember correct, I don't think it had, or if it did, but now the Federal Protective Officer test had those, things that are, I was like, any test that I took that had that, I wasn't able to, like this, and then see the other side of it, and that was like, that's this problem here, And, but anyway, I did pass the test. But then the government kept putting freezes on hiring, and which was what they were doing back then. Democrats and Republicans sort of joined together, because especially the Republicans didn't want any federal government people hired. They would like to have had a government without. They wanted to have congressmen and senators, and but they didn't want to have security people, or they wanted contract security and that type of stuff. But anyway, so I was able to take tests. But the point is, these tests, I don't know how you describe what they are. I can't close my eyes and see them, but it's the ones that are blocks, and there's a whole bunch, things. When I was taking a test like that, the only thing I could do is I'll take a guess, I would look at it and try to figure if I could eliminate one out of, like, if there were 5 answers, if I could eliminate one, well, then I only had to guess, 1 out of 4 or something. Anyway. I ordered these light bulbs and they came in, but the other, let's see, this is what it works with. Those light bulbs work, but the point is that they are, this is a new Echo Dot, and it's only $29. Well, $29 because for 6 months you're signing up to get Amazon Music. Now, of course, you can cancel at any point in 6 months. I'm not sure if I'll keep Amazon Music or not. But when this comes, hopefully tomorrow, that's when it's supposed to come, the deal is that you pay a little bit more for these smart bulbs that only use a very small amount of electricity. But apparently when you put these into the socket and turn on, when you have the new Echo device, it handles taking care of the networking of these. It will know. And so I actually had some that they've before I had my lighting working, a couple lights working here in my room. And I forget what happened. I forget if I replaced something in the networking. Something happened. So then I tried to reconnect the bulbs that I have, and I couldn't get the networking to work. Now this is supposed to be, I will, unscrew tomorrow when it comes. I will plug the new Echo device in, Echo Dot I guess it's called, and put these light bulbs in the sockets here, and it's supposed to find them and take care of everything for me. So, what is Echo Auto? Oh no. Echo Auto, I hope okay, we'll find out tomorrow. But especially with, it was especially nice being able to say, turn on the bedroom lights or turn off the bedroom lights and that kind of, that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping tomorrow this will all be taken care of. So I've got these. I'm waiting for this to come tomorrow. I've got the bulbs here. In fact, here is one of them. Okay. I got daylight too for help with the, okay. As you can see, this, by the way, Kindle auto books and paperback. Okay. I think that's it. Oh, thank you very much for watching. Please use the, jimhoward.me. That's a secure link, and it takes you to, let me show you. Okay, I've done this before, but if you do jimhoward.me, can you see it up there on the, here? Hit enter. Okay, you're now at Amazon, and you don't have to, I've got some stuff here. I haven't updated this in a while, but you're here, and if you go and purchase anything, I will get a small commission. And I make, well, for the last 3 months, been doing this for years, but for the last 3 months, I got $100 one month, got $60, I think it is, 2 months in a row, I think, something like that. So it's finally, after, because there's many, many months in a row that I didn't get anything or almost nothing. So it's finally started to work out. So thanks to those of you who are doing that, please keep it up, and thank you very much for watching this and all of my videos.